Hello everyone, in this video we will be looking at a problem, LeetCode problem, ways to express an integer as a sum of powers. Given two positive integers n and x, we have to return n. Number of ways n can be expressed as sum of x to the power of unique positive integers. Like here it is mentioned, like 160 can be expressed when x is equal to 3, can be expressed in one way where n cube plus 3 cube n equal to 2 cube plus 3 cube plus 5 cube. Okay, so let me take an example. N, like n is equal to 10 and x is equal to 2. So it can be expressed as 1 square plus 3 square is equal to 10. Okay, I'll be solving this problem to similar to that of 01 knapsack problem, basically inspired from Aditya Verma's YouTube videos. Okay, firstly we have to get the weights value, which is nothing but here. How can we get the weight value? We have to get all those elements which are like which can have the possibility to make the sum as 10, which means 1 square comma 2 square. 1 square is 1, which is less than 10, so it is 1. 2 square is 4, which is less than 10, so we can take it. 3 square is 9, which is less than 10. We can take it. And 4 square, which is like greater than 10, so we cannot take it. So these are all the values. This will be considered as weights 1, 4 and 9. Okay, now every weight we will be having a weight I. We will be having we have to check two conditions. One is like weight is less than or equal to the capacity. Now the capacity value is nothing but here our n value. Okay, n, and in again for every weight of I, either we can take it or we don't take it. Similar to when the weight of I is greater than the capacity, we don't take it. It makes sense. And we will do it recursively, and recursively we will try to solve this problem. For first we will take I as 0. W of I is 0 means we will be taking 1, and next we will apply these conditions. We got all these three results. Again we will iterate, we will move to the next index, and then similarly we will try to solve this problem. And finally for every solution, whenever we get the capacity, we will get the capacity as 0. Then what we will do is we will return it as 1. Return as 1. That what it will try to do is it will sum up, and all the possible combinations we will sum it up, and the sum of all the possible combinations will give us the result, whether we have got the value or not. So let us try to write the solution. Okay, so 01 knapsack, we have the capacity. The capacity here is n, and weight array, first we have to construct the weight array. Okay, so we will take a vector of int, and that we'll call it as weight array, but we'll iterate through I equal to 1 to we have to go with power function, where first argument will be the base, which is nothing but I here, and next argument will be the power. This will give us I power x. Okay, and which should be less than or equal to n, and I plus plus. We are iterating through it, and we will push the values. We will push the values in our vector pushback. power of what values we have to push, power of I comma n. These are the values that we have to push. Now once we got the weights, next step to do is to write the recursive function. Okay, int. Next we have a recursive function solve. First we will have the capacity, here is n, and weight vector w, and we have index I. Okay, so the base condition would be here, if I is equal to the weight size, then we have to return as 0. Okay, since we don't have any other elements to return, so that's why we will return it as 0. And we will check the condition if weight of I is less than or equal to the capacity n. If it is less than or equal to, then we have two choices. Okay, so we will go with first choice of considering it that weight, so n minus w of I, and w which is the weight index array, and we have I plus 1, which is here. You can see this is here we have taken the value plus the value, and we are subtracting that weight from the capacity. Similarly we are taking it. Now instead of doing max, see what we are trying to do is here solve function. We are trying to solve it, and the capacity would be n here, and weight and I plus 1. We are iterating it. So this will be when the capacity is within the value, and then we will return solve with we have not changed capacity because we have not taken the weight since it is above the capacity, and we are iterating, we are moving towards next number, and that's it. This is the recursive solution. But there is one thing that we have to consider is if n is equal to 0, then we have to return as 1. So once we have reached the capacity equal to 0, then which means like we got the numbers which are equal to the sum. So this is how it is. So let's go and code. So here I have written the code. Okay, firstly I have taken nums array, which is the weight array, okay, in our case. Okay, and this nums array, we are trying to consider only those numbers which are like the power of I power x should be less than or equal to n. Those numbers we are considering it here, and once we do it, once we got all those numbers, then we are trying to solve it, and capacity is an index, starting index is 0. So here we have weight array, this is capacity and index, and say if the capacity is 0, then we are returning it as 0, and this is the base condition I when index goes beyond the limit where the size, the weight size, then we are returning it as 0. Here we have the if weight of I is less than the capacity, then we have two choices, whether we can take it or we don't take it. Okay, and since we in the first condition we take it, so we will decrease the capacity and we'll check for the next element. Here we are not decreasing since we are not taking it, and we are looking for the next element. Similarly, so since the weight is what you call, the weight is more than the capacity, so what we are trying to do is we are trying to not take it. Okay, and this is a recursive solution, but we have this recursive solution. Once we submit it, it will give as a time limit exceeded error. So let's see. First we are running it. For small values it will work, but for when we submit we'll get TLE error most likely. The time limit exceeded error, we got it for these conditions. So how simply we have to, what we have to do is we have to do a memorization of these things. Say, now how can we do the memorization of this thing? What are the numbers that every time that are changing in our solve function? If we see n is getting changed here to n minus w of I, and n is getting changed, and only n is getting changed here. This weight array will remain same. And again, if you see I, I plus 1, I plus 1, I plus 1. So what we have to do is, put whichever elements are changing, we have to create a temporary or memory uh, array, and we have to store the results, intermediate results. So vector of ints, what I am trying to do is I am trying to create a array. Okay, and here we first I'll take it as capacity n plus 1 comma vector of int. Have to take it as the size of this nums array. Okay, in s is equal to nums dot size as s plus 1 comma minus 1. This is in this can initialize 2D vector. Okay, and here 2D vector, first index will be of n, and second index will be of the nums array or the weight array. Okay, and all are initialized to -1. And while we are solving, what we have to do is we have to return this value t of minus sorry, the whatever function we are calling n, capital N, and I is equal to this value. Okay, at the same time we have to make it here also and return it this value. Have to return this value. At the same time, if we see that value, if it is not equal to -1, then we will which means we have this value. Okay, return return the value, and we have to also pass every time this t value. Okay, can make it global, but unless until we perform this we don't know s value, so we have to pass through this. Okay, and which will be of signature vector of int. So here we have to pass t, here again we have to pass t. So let's run and see. Got it. So let's submit now. So we got our answer got accepted. So yeah, that's it. Thank you.